one of the things you want to look for is the days on market. There's a lot of properties out there that if you're a buyer, you're able to negotiate some great incentives with because they've been on the market for so long. Should you buy a home in 2024? What's going on? I'm 𝐅𝐫𝐞𝐞. I'm your local realtor here in El Paso, Texas. I'm also an investor. And today I want to share with you some key insights that you should consider if you are either going into the market this 2024 or waiting until 2025. Now, I'm going to make this video super simple, easy to digest. I feel there's a lot of people overcomplicating it. And my goal in this video is to give you some valuable tools that you can utilize to determine whether it's the right time for you and your family to buy. Now, with that being said, the first thing I always tell my clients is we need to determine whether it's the right time for you, okay? Whether the interest rates are high, whether the interest rates are low, if it's the situation in which you need to buy a house or you're relocating or your, family is extending, this is something that we need to talk about because we need to figure out how we can make it happen versus worrying about all the other logistical side that at the end of the day doesn't matter because you need a home, okay? So I just want to put that out there. I feel like there's a lot of people that and I'm gonna tag his account because he makes very, very good informative videos. He is he's just very knowledgeable when it comes to market rates and overall tax situations that are happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and tag him below. His account is called Clear Value Tax. So I'll go ahead and insert that. But he says how there's so many people that are gonna come for him in the comments and basically talk about the market's falling, the market's crashing, and we just have to hold on a little longer. Okay, fun fact for you guys here. Throughout the past 5 years, the increase that has been happening on houses has been roughly about a 4%. And I'm gonna insert a chart for you guys to see. I will also insert the link for Redfin for you guys to find it on your own. But it's crazy to me because so many people are constantly just focused on what maybe the list price is doing. But I want you to think about it this way. If I'm this crazy seller that says, I want $1 million for my house, but I know that my house is not worth $1 million. And then when I go and list it on the market slaps me in the face and basically says, yeah, no, your house is gonna sit on the market because you're way overpriced. And I now decrease the price, right? Does that mean that the value of the houses are going down? Or does that mean that I was being unrealistic as a seller, listing my house for an outrageous price, thinking that, the beautiful trees that I had in the back were gonna suffice to give more value to my home? No, right? So this is what's happening. There's so many people that are saying, the list prices are going down, the list prices are going down. But at the end of the day, if you do your research, you're going to see that supply and demand is something that is very, very real. And although there's some areas in which definitely the supply has gone up, therefore the demand is obviously decreasing, you also notice there's certain areas in that same city that are still moving very, very quickly. And on the chart that I'm going to show you guys, the average, okay, just so that you guys kind of know our market here in El Paso, Texas, our median sales price is around 264, okay? And I know some of you guys are like, what in the world? Because if I go over here and look at LA, the median sales price is $925,000. So a big difference. And when we talk about these things, this is why personally you want to determine what is in your best interest. There is markets in which it's not going to be in your best interest to buy. Simply, it's just out of the question, right? Even though you might want to buy in that market, it's just not realistic for you at this current time. And this is where we get into what's beneficial for you and your family. Because if we can understand that at the end of the day, you're looking to buy a house, okay, where is that ideal house going to be for you, right? And if maybe you're in a situation in which you're like, hey Alexa, no, I cannot move to El Paso, that's just not, something for me in the cards, then maybe you need to look obviously into renting if $900,000 for a house is not going to be reasonable for you right now. But the reality is that the market right now, as it stands, has been balancing out when it comes to your interest rates, which is a great thing. Just 3 months ago, we were closer to like the 7.5s on the interest. Right now, I just got a client locked in at a 6.25, which is great. And I know some people are like, well, in COVID, you know, we were able to get a 2.8%. A pandemic happened. They were trying to keep the market going, and that is essentially what you get. And if you study history, history tends to repeat itself. That is something that we can really start to understand a little bit better. And if you look at the 10-year treasury, you'll see how this actually impacts everything around you. A way for you to understand it is basically as the interest rates are going up, essentially that is when investors want to get into the deals because they see the opportunity. As it goes down, obviously less risk, less availability for them. This is how, at least how I like to understand it. But essentially now as an investor, they're like, well, there's more people in the market, therefore there's less incentives that we can negotiate. There's less deals that we can negotiate. So to simplify this, is the market going to crash? In my personal experience and my personal opinion here, I don't believe that is happening anytime soon. Of course, with that being said, take it with a grain of salt, do your own research. But what I always like to look at, okay, and this is a thing that I know so many people hate hearing, which is like, oh, you know, date the rate and marry the house. It's honestly a cliche, but it's true. I got a house in an interest rate that was quite high, to be quite honest with you. But because I knew the incentives that I was negotiating, because I knew what I was getting for the house, I didn't care about the interest rate. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bite my tongue until I can refinance. And then at the end of the day, it's gonna work out because I have at that point built some equity. At that point, the incentives that I got were still a lot better than what I have maybe put myself in a situation in which I got a better interest rate, but then I paid more for the house. That's not beneficial for me, right? And this is where we really need to talk about what's beneficial for you. If you're in a situation in which you're considering buying a house and you are hearing from everybody, hey, no, you should wait until the market crashes, let's just humor that person for a second. What's gonna happen the moment that they crash, this crash that everybody talks about happens, everybody else that has been considering buying is gonna go right into the market, okay? Just picture this for a second. Let's say you're a seller, okay? Let's say you're a seller, and now you have all these people that are requesting showings because they wanna buy your house, right? Because now they qualify, because now, realistically, the prices of what the houses were going for, you know, now it's actually in their favor. Now their lender is able to qualify them for more. What happens is that now we go back into Economics 101, right? We have supply and demand. So now if there is more actual demand that is going into the market and there's less supply that is starting to happen, what's going to actually occur at that point is that now you are going to end up paying more for the house, which is what happened in COVID. Many people overpaid for houses, but they were totally okay with it because they got a great rate. So this is something that I want you to just take whatever is useful for you. I will insert the charts because these charts are actually very, very useful, and they're going to help you better understand. Like looking at it right now, as you can see, if you're looking at now going into 2025, overall, the prices that we are experiencing here in El Paso are significantly lower than most markets. And I know some people are gonna say it because I've seen it in the comments before, negative Nancy's, where they're like, there's nothing to do in El Paso. Look, that's the beauty of having the freedom to choose where you want to live, right? You do not have to live in El Paso, but for some of us, El Paso has been a great city, has been a safe city, has been a place that we have called home for many years, and the price of living is actually really good, and then it gives us money to be able to travel and do other things. So with that, take it as you will, again. But I hope this video was helpful for those of you that are interested in knowing and actually determining, should you buy a house now or should you wait for obviously the price to decrease? Now, one last thing that I'm going to leave you with is, as you're getting into the market, one of the things you want to look for is the days on market. There's a lot of properties out there that if you're a buyer, you're able to negotiate some great incentives with because they've been on the market for so long. So obviously talk to your agent and let them know, hey, look, I have X amount. This is how much I have for my down payment. This is how much I have for my closing cost. But if you could help me negotiate some great deals, that would be fantastic. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, I'm gonna tag down below the creator for that YouTube channel that I simply find it super, super educational. I have no affiliation with him, but I think he's amazing, and I think that the information that he provides is great free content. And then also I will insert the links for the Redfin charts so that you can see them, do your own research, and with that, of course, determine what is the next move for you and your family. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one.